All right, we're talking to the haves and have-nots, Dukes of Hazzard, Smallville, and Dancing with the Stars fans. I've already done a video about John Schneider being on the next season of Dancing with the Stars, airing on the 24th, which is 10 days away, if I'm not mistaken. I'm recording this on September 14th. I'm actually looking forward to this. I haven't sat down and watched an entire season. When I say watch the season, I'm talking about I watch every episode. I watch the eliminations. This isn't just me watching clips of my favorite stars slash dancers on YouTube, but this was like in 2010 when I sat down and watched the season. But John Snyder's on there. I'm definitely watching. And, it's no secret that he's been going through problems with his ex-wife in regards to, spousal payment slash alimony since they got divorced. I believe it's like 18,000 plus per month. And I think in a recent interview, he stated something around paying her lawyer fees too. And that's up in like what? 30,000. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce. Oh, excuse, not pronounce, but I literally just saw this article in passing a day ago. But I do believe that his ex-wife is saying that she wants him to pay her legal fees, and it's like the money isn't there. And I've done speculation, again, just speculations, but based off what we actually know. I did watch part of the Insider Edition where John Schneider speaks about what's been going on in his circle. But really, I say that it really comes down to the flooding that occurred at in Louisiana and whatnot a couple years ago that heavily damaged his property, his studios and whatnot, and that obviously took a chunk of money, and it's still being repaired. So even though he's making have and have-nots money and from selling his music, it's still not enough to generate enough money to pay those fees each month. And, the whole thing about him going to jail for 3 days, but then being released within 3 hours because of overcrowdment and whatnot. So, here we are with Dancing with the Stars. And I did watch a couple of interviews with him, talking with reporters, him and his dance partner, Emma, I believe. And I'm actually going to post a link. I believe it was Access was the name of the YouTube channel. It was a pretty good interview, about 2.5 minutes long. I'll put that in the description below. And he talked about how, he wants to cross off the bucket list and, just see if he has the dancing chops. And I believe they said he's the oldest competitor this season. And as they said, he doesn't look it. And he certainly does, doing Insanity and P90X. So I don't think we should underestimate him just because he's the oldest, but he does keep fit. But in past seasons, we have seen like the older stars make it far on the show. I mean, he did talk about how he's kind of stiff and all. I can relate to that. So, and I'm only 27, but I mean, like in terms of like movement, not being very fluid on my feet or whatever to say, light on my feet or whatever. I can dance, but I just don't really do it. But in terms of like technical dancing, I feel like that's probably not my area. And, I did some research because I don't even know what to title this video, because I've already done one stating that John Schneider joins Dancing with the Stars. But it wouldn't surprise me if he did join the show because, the money issues he's going through. And I did some research because I actually looked this up several years ago. But in case you didn't know, Dancing with the Stars does pay the stars for being on there, because I've always wondered about that growing up before I looked into it. I'm like, well, it's like some of these people are, retired football players or they're or athletes. They used to have big TV shows back in the day. Now they're kind of on the smaller screen, or fresh new faces in Disney or Nickelodeon or Hollywood, and they want to be, and they're put on the show for, publicity to pretty much put them out there to a new audience, which makes sense. And sorry, cars in the parking lot. It's like 2 a.m. and there are people out there. But I did some research, and I've always wondered, like, for current actors, how do they get by, being on this show, the rehearsals and whatnot, the press and the touring? How do they make money? And I do have the numbers in front of me. So, and it kind of goes up per episode, just for signing on to Dancing with the Stars, just for signing on to the show. That's an automatic $125,000 for the first 2 episodes. Even if you get eliminated in the first eliminations, you still walk away with $125,000. And then it increases over each 2 episodes. So basically, if you make it to episodes 3 and 4, that's $10,000. If you make it to the next 2 episodes after that, that's an additional $20,000. Then it's an extra $30,000 for the next 2 episodes. Then it's $50,000 for basically if you make it to the final episode. And I do believe the math is right here in front of me. Basically, for contestants who make it to the tail end of the season, $345,000. That's pretty amazing. Not to mention a lot of calories burned from all the dancing and workouts. So basically the winners win. But here's the best part about Dancing with the Stars when you think about it. It's a great promotional platform. If you are an actor, musician, or whatnot, you're working on a new album, or you're about to be in a new TV show or whatnot, that's great publicity. Not to mention you have thousands, if not millions of people voting for you each week. You're on social media. It's like free advertisement, except you got to work your butt off in rehearsals. Like, obviously, the longer you're on the show, the more people will root for you, the more people want to watch you on TV or see you playing a sport or listen to your music. So to me, it really goes back to when the morning John Schneider was actually being driven to the jailhouse. He was on Facebook Live and, talking about how, he's going to do what he has to do for the legal system. And really, if you want to support me, go to my website, buy the merchandise, buy my music. And while it's not crazy, because that's, again, free publicity. It's like, a bunch of people are going to be watching you as you go into this chapter of your life. So why not use it as a platform to springboard, your product? So, I mean, that's a smart idea. But I don't want to just say that he's doing this for the sake of the money. It does seem like a main reason because he is in a financial bind. But from this, I hope some good things come out, such as seeing some of the haves and the have-not cast members watching him in the audience. I am looking for, that's one of the main reasons I'm going to be watching the show, just to see if I can see if, is that Tyler Perry? Is that Catherine? Is that Veronica? Watching Jim in the audience, not to mention to see what Jim Cryer's got. As he said, as John Schneider says in the interview I'm going to post below, he really hasn't had a lot of dance experience. So I'm very interested in seeing how that's going to play out. I do believe he said he's interested in making it to like a Halloween themed episode. Be like, Frankenstein or a zombie, because, of his stiff movements. I think that would be pretty funny. Let's see. He would have to make it through let's see. Yeah, he'd have to make it through a good chunk of episodes. So let's hope that's the case. But regardless, the end result, I do hope this helps him out in terms of getting more people to know, or, people who probably forgotten. Well, who know him best from the Dukes of Hazzard. So then younger people will be like, oh, he was in Smallville. And now the haves and the have-nots. So hopefully the advertisement comes from him being on the show. Hopefully this helps him get out of this financial bind with his ex-wife so he can move forward with his life. But overall, I'm definitely going to vote for him. I hope that he does well on the show. I hope he makes it through at least like the first 4 episodes or so he can guarantee some money right there. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I still haven't sat down and looked at an entire list of who's going to be on the show. Just because he's the oldest on the show, I wouldn't say that's quite the disadvantage, because he does keep up with his workouts and whatnot. But we'll just have to wait and see. We've seen young people on the show not do well, middle-aged people, the oldest people. Some like Cloris Leachman, she made it all the way to the freaking freestyle, I believe. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Does John have your vote? Are you going to be watching on the 24th? Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll talk to you all soon.